The biggest financial mistake women are making isn't spending too much money. It's spending too much time putting themselves last. I mean, think about it. How many years have you spent making sure everyone else was okay? The kids, the husband, the jobs, the friends, the family. You know how many hats that we have to wear. Meanwhile, your dreams stayed on the back burner and they're wondering, when are you going to pick them back up? And then one day you wake up and you realize you spent decades investing in everyone else's future while neglecting your own. And that's not a money problem. That's a self-worth problem. Because when you believe that you're worthy, you stop feeling guilty for investing in yourself. You start taking the class. You start the business, you learn a new skill, opening the investment account, building the life you always wanted. For the first time in my life, I'm choosing me. I'm learning how to build wealth, I'm learning how to create opportunities, and I'm learning how to stop putting my goals at the bottom of the list. And if you're watching this, maybe it's time for you to do the same.
All right, it's 2023. Hot girls don't gatekeep. So I want to share with you guys the biggest financial mistake that I made last year. And honestly, not even just last year, but my entire working career. It's so easy to fix. And no one really tells you these kind of things. And especially as nurses, we're not taught much about finance and that kind of thing. So I feel like this is really important to share. So up until last year, I had a Bank of America savings account. I was always taught, put away a chunk of money from every paycheck into a savings account for emergencies, yada, yada. But no one tells you that Bank of America, a regular bank savings account, sucks. You get 10 cents of interest. And, I just thought that's how it was until I saw actually another TikTok talking about a high interest savings account. So that's when I started looking into that more. I did a little bit of research. I looked at some finance blogs, and I already have a Capital One credit card. So I was like, oh, this will be easy. I'll just open up a high interest savings account with them as well and kind of keep it all together. You guys, the interest rate on these savings accounts compared to just a traditional savings account is crazy. I used to get 5 cents of interest every month from my Bank of America, and now I'm getting $40 of interest every month. And if I would have known this sooner, I would have had so much more money.
You keep crying about being broke, but let's be honest. You're not broke. You're just undisciplined, impulsive, and low-key entitled. You want rich results on poor habits. You will spend $100 on clothes or shoes you don't need, $50 on DoorDash at least twice a week, and $40 on Amazon for stuff you forgot you ordered, but you won't invest $10 into learning a skill that could actually pay you. You'll scroll TikTok for 5 hours, but say you don't have time to build something real. You will pray for a financial breakthrough while ignoring every opportunity that looks like work. You keep asking for more without becoming someone who can handle more. You're not in a hard season. You're in a cycle of bad decisions. And deep down, you've made peace with being average, as long as you can distract yourself from it. At some point, the truth is this. If you're still broke this time next year, it's not God. It's not the economy. It's you. Hope that helps.
3 things I wish I knew after going broke several times in my early 20s. Number 1, buy the dupe. I would rather have $30,000 in my bank account than $30,000 on my body. Argue with yourself. Number 2, do not seek to make more money if you do not know how to manage more money. Because the more you make, the more you have to put out. Because number 3, when you can afford it, get the accountant. I wish I would have gotten an accountant years ago. I now have an accountant and I'm playing catch up. But friend, I have at least 1,000 of these, so stay tuned for more.
When you're young, it's easy to become the person who says yes to everything. You answer every text immediately. You solve everyone else's problems. You become the unpaid therapist, event planner, and emotional support human. Congratulations! You've accidentally accepted a full-time job that nobody's paying you for. Women over 60 often say they wish they'd learned boundaries much earlier, because every yes you give someone else is also a no to yourself. And here's another surprise. The happiest older women aren't necessarily the ones who followed the traditional checklist.
And number 1 is probably going to solve a lot of problems for you. Number 3, you tell yourself you'll start next month, but you're already doing the same tiny habits that drain your money without thinking about it. Number 2, you keep blaming yourself for lack of discipline or the fact that you just need to try harder, as if willpower is the thing that's supposed to fix a pattern that's been running your whole life. And number 1, you don't actually see yourself as someone who's safe with money. So every time you get close to progress, your identity pulls you back to the version of you that feels familiar. Your brain learned this loop to protect you, but if you don't learn to interrupt it, you'll keep recreating the same financial reality no matter how much money you earn. Comment the word shift if this hits you.
A common mistake that I see us women make over and over again is we wait for the man in the family to make the financial decision for us. The problem is, when someone is making a decision for you, you are most likely not aware of what's going on. And I see this with clients all the time. My dad got it, my husband managed the account, I don't really know, I'm not really a money person, until something happens. You don't know where the accounts are. You don't know how to manage it. Everything just turned upside down. But it's not about you don't know anything about finance. It's about the involvement. Are you involved in making your own decision? Look, I used to be in the same shoes. I used to have no clue about my finance, and I hated that feeling. If this video sounds like you, let this be a sign for you to start making decisions about your own financial future. Again, this is Melissa with A&M Finance. See you in the next one.
One, to build wealth faster. Learn from the mistakes of others. It's one of the fastest ways to learn. Some of the biggest money mistakes I see women make are 1, waiting too long to start. 2, following the advice without research on their own. 3, letting emotions drive decisions. Money is a logic game. It's numbers and figures. It's adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. That's it. That is all that money is, and shouldn't be any harder than that. Understand that mistakes are part of the process, but some are avoidable with the right mindset and a strong community supporting you. Start now, stay informed, learn as you go. In the comments, what's one lesson that you've learned the hard way about money? Willing to share it in the comments? Let us know. I'd like to see. Let us all learn from each other, because we can all grow from it. And again, do not wait too long. Do not act out of fear. And don't follow advice blindly. Research for yourself. Make sure the numbers make sense for you. Stay curious, keep learning, and stay grounded in your goals, and your wealth will build.
The truth is, wealth isn't built by people who know everything. It's built by people who start learning before they feel ready. Sometimes the biggest raise you'll ever get isn't from your boss. It's from fixing one financial habit. Maybe it's moving your savings somewhere that actually earns interest. Maybe it's finally opening that investment account. Maybe it's cutting one expense that's been quietly stealing from future you. And here's the uncomfortable part. Every time you invest in yourself, whether it's a course, a skill, or even starting a side hustle, you're taking a risk. But staying exactly where you are, that's a risk too. It just feels familiar. Money isn't about being perfect. It's about paying attention. Your future doesn't care how much you knew at 25. It cares what you decide to do after watching this video.
All of the women that I know that are not where they want to be financially, they all have one thing in common. They really fear taking risks. If you are young and you are watching this video, one of the best things that you could ever do is reduce your sensitivity to taking risks as a woman. This may mean changing your major while you are in college. This may mean going for, I don't know, maybe even an entry level like internship in a different type of sector than like what it is that you are going to school for. This may mean deciding to go to college at an older age. This may mean giving up your career totally. This may mean investing into real estate or investing into the stock market. In order to win at money, there is a small amount of molding that you have to do to the landscape of patriarchy. Because at the end of the day, money is feminine, but the road to getting money has masculine aspects to it. One of those masculine aspects is that the landscape of patriarchy understands the fact that men are willing to take more risks. Women are more risk averse. This is why women like to ask a lot of questions, and they want to get a feel. They want to know every single thing it is that they need to know before they do something, not realizing that the only way for you to really know how to do something is to just start doing it. And then you're going to have to learn as you go. Creating content is you taking a risk. You're increasing your visibility. You are increasing your chances to be attacked. You are increasing your chances to receive criticism. Those are all very scary things. Those are all very risky things to partake in. But you cannot make money without putting yourself at some type of risk. There is no way that it is going to happen for you to increase how much money you're making now without taking a risk. One of the best things that you can do is to routinely put yourself in a situation where you are taking a risk. And it could be on a very small scale. Try going to a place alone. Try eating at a place alone. Try traveling alone. Try going to some type of like group exercise class alone. Try some type of new group class that you've never tried before. Go to a play alone. Go take an acting class. There are a lot of things that you can do on a micro scale that is going to build up your confidence and is not going to have you be so risk averse, where it's going to translate to you building up that confidence in order for you to make more money, in order for you to not fear these risks that you foresee happening if you decide to make decisions that would in turn make you more money. Once you build up your tolerance to understanding that there's going to be some discomfort, you're going to start making a lot more money.
Okay, so I saw a video this morning of a girl talking about the biggest financial mistake she made last year and what she's going to do to change it, and I cannot relate more. So she was talking about how she's Bank of America and she was told, put your money in savings. But what you don't realize is how you don't make any money with your traditional bank savings account. I have Bank of America and have kept so much money in savings for years, and I feel like such an idiot that I did not know to do this sooner. So I think right now, if you keep your money in Bank of America savings, you make like a penny. It's like, I don't even know, maybe it's like 3 cents, whatever, monthly on the balance that you have. And after watching a TikTok last year, I remember someone talking about high yield savings accounts, and I feel like an idiot in my 30s, and I did not know about this. So this video is for anybody who would like to know how to grow your money in savings, like just a tip that I learned. I feel like a lot of us probably didn't know, but high yield savings accounts are the way to go. And I switched to American Express personal savings, and my rate is 4%. I think it's a little bit higher right now. I also have a Goldman Sachs CD, or like stock CD, one of those. And I feel like every month I keep getting a notification that my interest keeps going up. So if you have Bank of America savings, fuck that. Take your money out, put it in a high yield savings account. And I could have so much more money right now. I'm so mad at myself for not knowing this years ago, because I would have so much money in a high yield savings account. But I guess better late than never.
There are 3 financial mistakes I see women make over and over and again that keep them broke. The first one is not negotiating. If you don't negotiate your first salary, you can potentially lose out on so much money throughout your career. What you do with your first job sets the tone for the rest of your career. So what are you gonna do? Second mistake is keeping too much money in savings over investing it. Women are great savers because naturally we're wired to be preservers. So that makes us great savers, but it doesn't make us good at building wealth. Because to build wealth, you have to invest. You have to take on some form of risk. And lastly, my least favorite is waiting for permission financially. I see that women tend to need to ask validation for any financial decision that they make. And so what that means is that they are not confident in their own decisions. That's what they're signaling to their brain when you wait to ask for permission. You don't need approval. You need a plan. Stop asking for permission. Fix these 3 things, and I promise you'll put yourself on a path to build financial success.
Here are some money mistakes I made in my 20s that I do not recommend doing now that I'm 31 years old. The first money mistake I made was taking out a bunch of student loans that I didn't need just to get a refund check. And if you know, you know. When I was in my early 20s and I had no money, I would go back to school just because I knew I was going to get a refund check. And I do not recommend doing that. I ended up getting my associate's degree, and for a 2-year degree, I racked up over $10,000 in student loans. I think when I graduated with my associates, I had about $20,000 owed in student loans for a 2-year degree. That's crazy. So if you're in school and they're offering you a bunch of loans, please do not accept them unless you absolutely need it, because this is just going to get you in debt and you're going to owe a lot of money when you're done with school. The second thing I regret doing in my 20s was having a repossession. I had a car repossession when I was about 24 years old, and I regret not paying my car payments on time because this caused me to have a repo. I was job hopping like crazy, and I was really not stable financially, and my car ended up getting taken. I was distraught. Luckily, I was able to get a car again a year later, but my interest rate for that car through Carvana was astronomical, about 30% interest rate, which is crazy. Now that I'm 31, I definitely make my car payments on time. Make sure you're making your car payments on time so that you can avoid having a car repossession. Make sure that you are financially stable enough to afford a car note, because if you can't afford it, it will catch up to you and you can possibly have a car repossession. So that's a huge financial lesson I learned in my 20s, and now I'm 31, is to make your car payments on time. So these are some financial mistakes that I've learned that I'm 31, that I made in my 20s, that I highly recommend you don't do. If this video was helpful, make sure you save it for later, and make sure you follow me for more personal finance tips.
So here are 3 mistakes I see women making all the time as they're trying to create wealth. Mistake number 1 is spending money on things that don't give you an ROI, a return on investment. I see women all the time going, I don't have money to start a business. I don't have money to invest. Where am I going to get the money from? But then I see them in Vegas on a girls' trip with their with their besties. Like, what the hell? If you don't have money, you need to be investing your money so your money can be making you money, and stop spending your money on things that do not give you a return on your investment. That is like the key, right? You need to be investing your money and having your money make you money. Mistake number 2, and boy, this one is so common. And I know things happen in life and I know things come up, but I see women start out with an investment, whether it's in their 401k, whether they're doing a Roth and they are starting to invest in the stock market, they get an index fund, whatever the investment is, right? They invest it, they get their return, so they get their investment back plus the profit, and then they spend the money on something that doesn't give them a return on their investment. So it's gone. It's gone. Like literally, when you are investing, you got to think for the long term. You're investing, so you want to keep turning that money over. We invest in real estate, me and 40 women who are my sharks. We invest in real estate all the time. As soon as that investment closes, and as soon as the deal closes and we get our money plus our profit, we throw it right back into another investment. We are not taking it to go on a trip to Tahiti or to rehab our kitchen, right? We are building wealth. We are building generational wealth, and it needs to compound in order for you to have something to look at, right? To have something that you can actually work with. So don't spend your investment. And the third one, so common, and you're not going to like this one, okay? It is still hanging around the same people that you were before, who are broke, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, have a negative money mindset, trying to convince you not to do the things that you know you should be doing because it's scary to them and they don't understand it. You need to get rid of that circle of people, and you need to surround yourself by like-minded people, like-minded women who are going in the direction that you want to go, who have what you want to have, and you're sitting at the table with these kinds of people, and you are going to get to your financial goal of wealth so much faster.
So don't wait until life forces you to learn. Be curious. Ask questions. Read the boring stuff. Make the phone call. Open the account. Start small if you have to. Because one day, you'll either thank your younger self or wonder why she kept saying, I'll do it next month. And trust me, next month has a terrible track record of never showing up.
This is something I can't stop thinking about as women get more and more money, education, and they need men less. Women don't want this much money so that they can buy handbags, designer handbags, trips. That's all amazing. But the real reason that women are so motivated to get money is because most of them have seen a woman in their life that has been controlled and not been able to leave situations and rooms that she's not being respected in because she doesn't have the financial freedom to do so. And I honestly think that is what is motivating so many women in our generation to have their own money, to have financial freedom, to be able to walk away from situations that no longer serve them because they are able to. And that is the biggest luxury that you could ever afford yourself.
This one small mistake with your money can make the biggest difference in the world. And that is having your emergency fund in your checking account. Do not do this, because things are going to come up in life and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I mean, I'll just use some of this here. If it's just available to you to use in your checking account because you're used to spending out of that. Have a separate account, a high yield savings account, just for your emergency fund. Put $1,000 in there starting out, pay off all your consumer debt. Once you are debt free, bump that up to 3 to 6 months of expenses. That is a fully funded emergency fund, but it needs its own place, its own home. Put it aside. Don't keep it in your checking account.
A money myth you wish people would stop believing.
That you have to buy a house to be a success.
A financial mistake that taught you the most.
When I got my Wall Street job, I canceled my oldest credit card when I got these new ones. It shortened my credit history and my credit score dropped by like 60 to 80 points. And I just had to wait.
One metric everyone should track financially.
Net worth. What you own minus what you owe.
What's the biggest mistake people make when they start investing?
They put money into an investment account and then they don't buy stuff.
What's the easiest way someone can start building generational wealth?
One of the easiest ways for you to have a 2-income household as a single person is to invest.
What's a financial habit that instantly tells you someone is going to build wealth?
If somebody has their direct deposit take 5-10% of their paycheck, pop it into savings or an investment account, you're going to be fine.
What's the biggest lie people believe about the stock market?
It's super duper risky.
If someone's goal is generational wealth, what's the first thing they should stop doing?
Trying to cut expenses out of their life. They need to think about growing.
What's the most overrated financial goal people chase?
Having a lot of money in the bank. If it's just sitting in a savings account, it's not doing anything for you.
What's a financial flex that actually impresses you?
When people can take a Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. off. I'm not there yet.
Me neither, but I aspire.
Yeah, I aspire.